The massive crystal dome of the Galactic Council chamber sparkled under the light of 3 suns. Inside, thousands of alien representatives sat in rising circles, their seats arranged like a giant bowl. At the lowest level, Ambassador James Stone stood at the speaker's platform, his gray suit neat and his back straight despite his tiredness. "The Earth delegation requests additional time for developing our Mars colony," he said, his voice firm despite knowing what would come next. A burst of laughter filled the chamber. It started from the upper rings and spread downward like a wave. Some aliens made whistling sounds, others clicked their tongues, but they all shared the same reaction: pure amusement at humanity's expense. The Centaurian High Speaker rose from his seat. His blue-tinted skin caught the light as he spread his arms wide. "Distinguished members of the Council," he said, his translator making his words clear to all. "Once again, we witness the humans asking for more time. How many years has it been? 10, 20. And still, they cannot even properly settle their closest planet." More laughter followed. Stone's jaw tightened, but he kept his face neutral. He had been through this many times before. "Perhaps," the Centaurian continued, "we should show them recordings of how our children build space stations in their play areas." This brought another round of laughter, louder than before. Stone looked around the chamber. The Centaurians, sitting in their section marked by blue banners, seemed the most amused. Their colony in the Alpha Centauri system was considered one of the most advanced in known space. Next to them, the ring-shaped aliens from Proxima nodded their top sections in agreement, their natural rings spinning faster to show their enjoyment. "The Council recognizes Earth's request," the head speaker said from his high platform. "However, given the continued delays and apparent technological limitations, we must ask, what exactly have you achieved in the past 5 years?" Stone pulled out his tablet and began showing simple graphs. "Our lunar mining operations have increased by 15%, he said. "We've also improved our space station's recycling systems by—" "Boring," someone shouted from the upper rings. "Show us something impressive, human, like a real space city." Stone paused his presentation. He thought about the message he had received that morning from Colonel Walker, about what was happening far from here, hidden from these laughing aliens, but he couldn't reveal that. "Not yet. We continue to make steady progress," he said instead. The Centaurian High Speaker walked down to the main floor. He stood next to Stone, making the human look small in comparison. "My friends," he announced, "perhaps we're being too harsh. After all, humans are still young in the galactic community. They're like children learning to walk while we run among the stars." Stone felt his hands shake slightly, but he kept them steady. The Centaurian put a hand on his shoulder, the gesture seeming friendly but feeling like another insult. "We should guide them," the Centaurian said. "Teach them. Show them how real spacefaring races build their civilizations. In fact, I invite the human ambassador to visit our colony in the Alpha Centauri system. See how a proper space civilization looks." The chamber filled with approving sounds. To many, it might have seemed like a generous offer, but Stone knew better. It was just another way to show off their superiority. He bowed slightly, playing his part. "The Earth delegation thanks you for your generous offer. We will consider it carefully." As he walked back to his seat, the laughter and whispers followed him. But inside, Stone smiled slightly. Let them laugh, he thought. Let them think humans were slow and primitive. They didn't know about the message waiting on his secure tablet. They didn't know about Project Haven, or what humanity had really been doing all these years. Soon, very soon, they would all learn the truth. And then the laughter would stop. 200,000 miles from Earth, hidden behind a veil of artificial dark matter, Colonel Mary Walker stood at the observation deck of Haven City. The massive space station spread out below her like a gleaming metal flower, its 5 giant petals housing different sectors of the city. Each petal was 3 miles long, containing everything from farms to factories, homes to hospitals. She touched the reinforced glass window, watching as maintenance robots moved across the outer hull like tiny stars. "Status report," she said into her communicator. "All systems green, Colonel," replied her second-in-command, Major Robert Black. "The new shield generators are running at full power. Population count remains stable at 10 million. Hydroponics reports another record harvest." Walker nodded, though she knew he couldn't see her. 10 million people lived here, hidden from the galaxy's eyes. 10 million humans working, living, and thriving in what would soon become humanity's greatest revelation. Her tablet beeped with an incoming message from Earth. It was from Ambassador Stone, marked urgent. She opened it quickly, reading his report about the latest council meeting. More mockery, more laughter at humanity's expense. But that was good. It meant their deception was working perfectly. "Major," she called again, "please come to Observation Deck Alpha. Bring today's readiness reports." 5 minutes later, Major Black entered the deck. He was a tall man with graying hair, carrying a stack of tablets. "Colonel," he said, "you've seen the ambassador's message." "Yes." She turned from the window. "Tell me something good, Robert." He smiled and handed her the first tablet. "The dark matter cloak is working better than ever. Even when those Proxima ships passed within 10,000 miles last month, their sensors didn't detect anything unusual." Walker swiped through the reports. Everything was ready. They had spent 20 years building this city in secret, using humanity's supposed failures as cover. Every time Earth announced a failed space mission, they were actually sending up more materials. Every accident in space had been carefully planned to hide their true work. "And the new FTL drive?" she asked. "Tested successfully yesterday. We can reach Alpha Centauri in under 6 hours." He paused. "Though I still don't understand why we built it so large. The whole city can travel." Walker walked to another window, this one showing the residential pedal. People walked through parks under artificial sunlight. Children played in schools. Families lived normal lives. All of them knew they were part of history in the making, but none knew exactly when they would be revealed to the galaxy. "We built it this way because someday we might need to move the entire city," she explained. "Not just for us, but maybe to help others too." Her tablet beeped again. Another message from Stone. "Centaurians, being especially arrogant today, invited me to see their colony. If they only knew what we have hiding up here." "Major," Walker said, "run another full systems check. Focus on the shield generators and life support systems. I have a feeling we'll need them sooner rather than later." As Black left to carry out her orders, Walker looked at the Earth hanging below them. From up here, it looked peaceful, beautiful. The same view that had inspired humans to reach for the stars centuries ago. "Let them laugh," she whispered to herself. "Let them think we're primitive and slow. They don't know that while they were busy mocking us, we built something they thought impossible." Her communicator chirped. "Colonel," came a young officer's voice, "we're detecting unusual solar activity near Alpha Centauri. The readings are off the charts." Walker straightened her uniform. Perhaps the time for hiding was coming to an end sooner than they had planned. She looked once more at the mighty city spread out before her, humanity's greatest secret and soon to be their greatest triumph. "Keep monitoring those readings," she ordered, "and put all emergency response teams on standby. I have a feeling Haven City might need to make its debut very soon." The emergency alarms in the Galactic Council chamber flashed bright red, cutting off another session of routine business. The head speaker's voice boomed through the hall. "Emergency transmission from Alpha Centauri colony. Highest priority." A huge screen appeared in the center of the chamber. On it, the Centaurian high speaker's face showed clear fear, his blue skin looking pale. Behind him, warning lights flashed. "This is an emergency distress call," he said, his voice shaking. "Our star. It's experiencing unprecedented solar storms. Our shields are failing. We have 3 million colonists here, and..." Static cut through the transmission before it returned. "Need immediate evacuation assistance." The chamber erupted into chaos. Hundreds of representatives jumped to their feet, shouting offers of help and suggestions. Ambassador Stone sat quietly, watching the panic unfold. "Our fastest ships can reach them in 3 days," the Proxima representative announced. 3 days? Someone shouted. "The colony will be destroyed by then." The main screen split to show scientific readings. The Alpha Centauri star was throwing out massive solar flares, larger than any recorded in recent history. The Centaurian colony's location, usually safe, was right in the path of the worst radiation. "Our shield generators are at critical levels," the high speaker continued, his image now flickering badly. "We've lost 30% of our coverage already. At this rate," he looked down at something off-screen, his expression growing more worried. "At this rate, we have less than 8 hours before total shield failure." In his seat, Stone felt his secure tablet vibrate. He checked it carefully, making sure no one could see the screen. The message was from Colonel Walker. "Haven City is ready. Your call, Ambassador." The head speaker was trying to organize the chaos. "All vessels in the nearby sectors, respond. We need every available ship for evacuation. The radiation levels are too high," a technical expert announced. "Standard ships can't approach the colony without being destroyed. We need special shielding that no one has developed yet." The Centaurian high speaker's image grew more desperate. "Please, we have children here, families. Our own shields were supposed to be the best in the galaxy, but nothing could prepare us for this level of solar activity. We need help." Stone stood up slowly. He walked down to the speaking platform, each step measured and calm despite the chaos around him. The sight of the usually confident human moving so deliberately caught some alien's attention. "Earth offers assistance," he said simply. For a moment, there was silence. Then, incredibly, laughter broke out again, though this time it had a desperate edge to it. "This is not the time for jokes, human," the Proxima representative said. "What could you possibly do when our best ships can't even reach them?" Stone smiled slightly. "We have a solution. But first, I need to speak to the head speaker. Privately. Right now." "Ambassador Stone," the head speaker said, "if you're playing some kind of game." 3 million lives are at stake," Stone interrupted. "Give me 5 minutes of your time, and I'll show you how Earth can save every single one of them." The chamber fell silent again. On the main screen, another section of the Centaurian colony shields flickered and died. The high speaker's image showed pure fear now. 5 minutes, the head speaker agreed. "But if you're wasting our time." Stone was already walking toward the private chamber. He opened his tablet, sending a short message to Colonel Walker. "Initiate Operation Rescue. Time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do." Behind him, the emergency alarms kept blaring, and the Centaurian colony's shields continued to fail, counting down to disaster. But James Stone walked with confidence. In a few minutes, the galaxy would learn that they had spent 20 years laughing at the wrong species. 5 minutes later, Ambassador Stone walked back into the council chamber with the head speaker. The ancient alien's expression was unreadable, but he moved with unusual speed to his platform. "Attention." The head speaker's voice cut through the chaos. "Ambassador Stone has my authorization to proceed with Earth's rescue plan. Give him your full attention." Stone stood at the central platform, looking up at the thousands of alien faces. The main screen still showed the Centaurian high speaker's worried face, now split with technical readings showing the colony's failing shields. "For 20 years, Stone began, you have laughed at humanity's apparent failures in space, our slow progress, our seemingly primitive technology." He paused, allowing his words to sink in. "That ends today." He pressed a button on his tablet. A new image appeared on the main screen. A massive city floating in space, its 5 huge petals spread like a metal flower. Gasps echoed through the chamber. "This is Haven City," Stone announced. "A fully functional space city housing 10 million humans." hidden in Earth's orbit using advanced dark matter cloaking technology that we developed while you were busy mocking our primitive science. The chamber erupted in shocked whispers. The Proxima representative stood up. Impossible. Our ships pass through Earth's orbit regularly. We would have detected. You passed within 10,000 miles of Haven last month. Stone interrupted. Your sensors showed nothing because that's exactly what we wanted them to show. He pressed another button. Technical specifications appeared on the screen. Shield strength, power systems, FTL drive capabilities. The numbers made several alien technical experts jump to their feet in disbelief. Haven City was built to be mobile. Stone continued. Its shield technology is far beyond anything you've seen. And yes, it can reach Alpha Centauri in 6 hours. The Centaurian High Speaker's image leaned forward. You're saying you can save our colony? No, Stone replied, allowing a small smile. I'm saying we're already on our way. He waved his hand, and the main screen split again to show a new image. Haven City had emerged from its dark matter cloak and was moving away from Earth, its massive engines glowing bright blue. Its size became apparent as it passed the moon. Each of its petals was larger than many alien space stations. Impossible, someone shouted. A structure that size can't use FTL drive. Colonel Walker, Stone said into his communicator, please demonstrate. On the screen, Haven City suddenly stretched like an image in a bent mirror, and then vanished in a flash of light. The chamber fell completely silent. Haven City will reach Alpha Centauri in 5 hours and 43 minutes, Stone announced to the stunned audience. Its shields can easily withstand the solar storm levels you're experiencing. We will evacuate every colonist. The head speaker raised his hand for silence as excited whispers filled the chamber. Ambassador Stone, why? Why reveal this now? Why hide such achievements? Stone looked directly at the Centaurian High Speaker's image. Because while you were laughing at us, we were learning, building, preparing. And now, when you need help the most, humanity will show you exactly what we can do. He turned to address the entire chamber. Haven City is just the beginning. While you mocked our failed Mars colonies, we were building fusion reactors in secret lunar bases. While you joked about our primitive satellites, we were perfecting dark matter manipulation. We learned it was better to be underestimated, to work in secret until the right moment. The chamber remained silent, every alien representative trying to process this revelation. Their centuries of mockery, their dismissal of human potential, all proved wrong in a single moment. Stone's tablet beeped. A message from Colonel Walker. FTL transit stable. All systems normal. We'll reach the colony in time. He looked up at the stunned aliens and smiled. Now shall we discuss how humanity can help advance galactic civilization? Haven City burst into normal space near Alpha Centauri in a flash of blue light. The massive city's 5 petals immediately began adjusting their position, orienting themselves to face the raging star. The solar storm was visible even to the naked eye. Huge ribbons of plasma whipping through space, much larger than anything ever recorded near Earth's sun. In Haven's command center, Colonel Walker stood before a wall of holographic displays. Status report. Shields at maximum power, Major Black reported. The storm is stronger than our projections, but we can handle it. City structure is stable. Captain Tom Wells, commander of Haven's rescue fleet, stepped forward. All 20 rescue ships are ready in their launch bays, Colonel. Each can carry 5,000 people. We can evacuate the entire colony in 3 trips. Walker nodded, watching as another solar flare lashed out toward the Centaurian colony. The alien settlement's shields flickered weakly, barely holding against the onslaught. Open communications, she ordered. The High Speaker's face appeared on the main screen, his eyes widening at the sight of humans in the command center. You actually came. Of course we did, Walker replied simply. We're detecting severe damage to your shield grid. Our scans show you have less than 30 minutes before total failure. We're launching rescue ships now. On her signal, the rescue fleet emerged from Haven's Petals. The ships were sleek and silver, each one protected by the same advanced shields that protected the city. They moved in perfect formation toward the colony. But the radiation levels, the high speaker protested. No ships can. Watch, Walker interrupted. The rescue ships punched through the storm's worst area, their shields glowing bright blue, but holding steady. In the command center, Captain Wells coordinated their approach. All ships, maintain formation, he ordered. Begin docking procedures. Priority evacuation of children and medical cases first. The high speaker's image showed him turning to look at something off-screen, his expression moving from disbelief to hope. Your ships, they've successfully docked. But how? Our own best ships couldn't even approach in this storm. Walker allowed herself a small smile. 20 years of secret development can produce amazing results. Now, please focus on organizing your people for evacuation. Time is critical. The rescue operation moved with precision and speed. Centaurian families boarded the human ships, many of them seeing humans in person for the first time. Some stared in wonder at their rescuers, finally understanding how wrong they had been about humanity's capabilities. First wave of ships returning. Major Black announced after 40 minutes. 250,000 colonists safely aboard. Walker watched as the ships docked smoothly in Haven's rescue base. The city's massive petals provided perfect shelter from the storm, their shields easily deflecting radiation that would have destroyed lesser structures. Second wave launching now, Captain Wells reported. The ships immediately headed back out, just as another massive solar flare erupted. Their colony shields are about to fail, someone called out. Walker pressed a button on her command console. Haven City, execute Operation Umbrella. The space city's 5 petals slowly moved, spreading wider, adjusting their angle. The shield grid expanded, stretching out like a giant blue umbrella. It reached out toward the colony, providing additional protection, just as the colony's own shields failed completely. Remarkable, the high speaker whispered, watching from his evacuation center. All this time, we were so wrong about humans. The second wave of ships was already docking with the colony. On Walker's displays, the evacuation numbers kept climbing steadily. They would make it. Every single colonist would be saved. Colonel, Major Black said quietly beside her, the Galactic Council is requesting permission to broadcast this rescue operation across all civilized space. Walker looked at the high speaker's image on her screen. Permission granted. Let them all see what humanity can really do. A week after the rescue, the Galactic Council chamber was packed fuller than ever before. Every seat was taken, with additional viewing screens set up in overflow rooms throughout the building. But this time, no one was laughing at the human ambassador. James Stone stood at the central platform, but now he wasn't alone. Colonel Walker and Captain Wells stood with him, their uniforms crisp and formal. Above them, the main screen showed Haven City in all its glory, its 5 massive petals, now serving as temporary home to 3 million grateful Centaurian refugees. The head speaker stood from his high chair. This emergency session of the Galactic Council will come to order. Our first item of business, official recognition of Earth's technological achievements, and, he paused, looking directly at the human delegation, our formal apology for years of unfair treatment. The Centaurian high speaker stepped forward. His usual arrogance was gone, replaced by genuine humility. My people owe their lives to humanity's generosity. All 3 million of our colonists were saved because Earth chose to help us, despite our years of mockery. He turned to face the human delegation. Our scientists have studied Haven City's shield technology. It's far beyond anything we thought possible. The dark matter cloaking system alone would have taken our best minds centuries to develop. And yet, humans did this in secret, while we laughed at their supposed failures. Stone stepped forward. We accept your apology, High Speaker. But perhaps now is the time for truth. Haven City is not our only achievement. He pressed a button on his tablet. New images appeared on the screen. Massive underground cities on Mars, hidden beneath the surface where satellite scans couldn't detect them. Advanced research stations in the asteroid belt. Quantum communication arrays that had been disguised as space debris. Every failure we reported, Stone explained, was carefully planned. Every setback was deliberate. We learned early that being underestimated was our greatest advantage. The chamber erupted in excited whispers as more images appeared. The head speaker raised his hands for silence. Ambassador Stone, your people have proven themselves far more capable than any of us imagined. The Council formally extends an invitation for Earth to join the Advanced Technologies Committee. We accept, Stone replied, and we have much to share. But first, he looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of those who had once mocked his people. First, we need to establish new protocols for cooperation. No more mockery. No more dismissal of younger species. Colonel Walker stepped forward. Haven City was built not just for humans, but as a prototype for future emergency rescue operations. We're willing to share this technology to help establish similar facilities across the galaxy, but only if we work together as equals. The chamber filled with approving sounds. The Proxima representative stood. My people vote to accept these terms. We were wrong about humans, and we're eager to learn from them. One by one, other representatives stood, adding their support. The High Speaker looked at the images of Haven City again, shaking his head in wonder. To think, he said quietly, all those years we spent laughing at humans, they were quietly building wonders we thought impossible. We mocked their failures while they used those very failures to hide their true work. Captain Wells smiled. There's an old Earth saying, pride comes before a fall. And now, someone called from the upper rings. What will humanity reveal next? Stone looked at his tablet, where a message from Earth was waiting. More secret projects, ready to be revealed. More achievements that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of human potential. Now, he said, we stop hiding. Now we show you what humanity can really do when we work in the open, as equals. He paused, looking around the chamber, and trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. 1 year after the Haven City revelation, the galaxy was a very different place. Where humans had once been mocked, they were now sought after as teachers and advisors. Haven City had become a symbol of innovation across known space, its design being adapted for new emergency rescue stations in 12 different star systems. Ambassador Stone stood in his new office in the Galactic Council's Advanced Technologies Wing, looking out at the 3 suns setting in sequence. Behind him, his wall displayed live feeds from various human projects across space. The newly revealed Mars cities growing larger each day, the quantum shipyards in Earth orbit building the next generation of rescue ships, and Haven City itself, now serving as both a home and a training center for species across the galaxy. A soft chime announced a visitor. The Centaurian High Speaker entered, no longer carrying himself with his former arrogance. Ambassador, he said warmly, the new shield generators are working perfectly in our rebuilt colony. Our engineers still can't believe how much they're learning from working with your teams. Stone smiled. Amazing what we can achieve when we work together instead of laughing at each other, isn't it? Indeed. The High Speaker looked at the wall of displays. My youngest daughter starts her engineering apprenticeship at Haven City next month. 2 years ago, I would have considered that beneath her. Now, it's the highest honor she could achieve. A new image appeared on the wall. Colonel Walker standing with a mixed group of human and alien scientists. They were celebrating the successful test of a new dark matter cloaking system, one that could hide entire planets if needed. Did you ever imagine, the High Speaker asked, when you were standing here enduring our laughter, that it would end like this? Stone thought back to those days, remembering the secret pride he had carried, knowing what humanity had really achieved. We knew our time would come. Though I admit, we didn't expect it would be saving your colony that would reveal everything. His computer chimed with an incoming message. It was from Captain Wells, now leading the new Galactic Emergency Response Fleet, a joint force of human and alien ships based on Haven City's design. Another successful rescue, Stone read aloud. A mining colony near Proxima was caught in an asteroid storm. The new shield technology saved everyone. He looked at the high speaker. A year ago, those miners would have been lost. A year ago, we thought humans were barely able to reach their own moon, the high speaker admitted. Now you're teaching us technologies we never dreamed possible. The council vote next week. It's going to pass, you know. Stone nodded. The vote would make Earth the head of the Advanced Technologies Committee, a position that would have seemed impossible just a year earlier. But humans had proven themselves not just technologically advanced, but wise in how they used their advancements. There are rumors, the high speaker said carefully, about other human projects still hidden. Things even more impressive than Haven City. Stone's smile widened slightly. Of course there were other projects. Humanity hadn't revealed everything yet. The quantum tunneling experiments in the Kuiper Belt, the temporal research stations hidden in deep space, the consciousness transfer technology being perfected in secret labs. But those would be revealed in time, when the galaxy was ready. The future's bright, Stone said instead, especially now that we're all working together. As if to emphasize his words, the wall displayed a new image, the first graduating class of the Haven City Space Academy, humans and aliens standing together, ready to push the boundaries of what was possible. You know what the funny thing is? The high speaker said, watching the image. We spent so many years laughing at humans, thinking we were superior. But in the end, you taught us the most important lesson of all. Oh, Stone raised an eyebrow. What's that? Never judge a species by their apparent failures, because sometimes, behind those failures, they're building something extraordinary. Stone looked out at the 3 setting suns again. No more hiding, he said quietly. No more pretending to be less than we are. Now we all move forward together. And somewhere out there, Haven City continued its orbit, a shining symbol of how far humanity had come and how far they would go next.